I do not use maps. Never have. My sister Mildred would prefer that I take a map, but I like to use just the road and the day to dictate that next painting. I am drawn to that beautiful Louisiana landscape. Now, I may have been called down a crazy road or two, but I don't think any of those were on a map. You see, the beautiful thing about living in Natchitoches is that within 10 or 15 minutes, you're out of town. Oh, it doesn't take long to discover those twists and turns of the Cane River or the cotton fields off of Kaiser Road. You see, I am a Louisiana gal through and through, born and raised. She's been my inspiration throughout my entire life. I am surrounded by her beauty as soon as I step outside my studio. Outside. Painting outside, that is what connects me. Well, early in the morning, I'll load up my car, coffee in hand, of course, and I hit the road till I see what I want to paint next. Maybe it's that bold, turbulent, billowing cloud moving in before a storm. Or those quiet, delicate reflections that shimmer in the light off of the lakes and the rivers. Movement, color, that is what ignites my imagination. So if you don't like color, you're probably not going to like my work. Now, the early mornings of summertime in Louisiana do offer the best morning time to paint. Spring extends the hours a bit, but between the winds and the rains, it makes it nearly impossible to imitate those glades and meadows of northwest Louisiana. Oh, come on, you all know what I'm talking about. Those bright blue skies change to yellow. That brown dirt road turns into this vibrant red. Nature is secretive, forever changing. While even the clouds vary from season to season. Oh, I am just mesmerized by clouds. Those zooming clouds over a quiet hill. Those clouds that open and close over the hay bales of West Texas. Seems like my head is always up in the clouds. You see, as an artist, it is my job to capture those complex shapes and those vibrant colors onto that canvas. Well, I've always known what I wanted to do with my life, so I create. It's something that, in my heart, I must do. I was born to be a painter. Now, I always wanted to do a cotton field painting. Now, not just your normal cotton field painting. You see, it was October in Louisiana, which means that pretty much all the cotton fields are being plowed down. There are so many plantations in Natchitoches. It didn't take me long to discover those trucks plowing through those fields. But I knew there had to be some cotton growing somewhere. And finally, I saw it. I saw that sprig of cotton growing up out of the ground. There was this spindle top to it. Down below it, gathered all around, there were all of these pieces of cotton. With all that gathered there, it sort of seemed like, it seemed like the cotton was having a party. I know, cotton having a party, that sounds crazy, but they were just all so large and fun, which is why I made this sprig as bold as I could. Well, before I jumped back in the car, I may have taken a piece of cotton or two. Oh, come on, nobody was going to want it anyway. Well, when I got back to the studio, I put some plaster up on this canvas. That's what gives it that three-dimensional look. I began to draw the lines and the angles as the base to the field, and all that texture just came to life. Oh, this piece was so much fun to make. Well, I knew as soon as I started this one that it had to be called Cotton Gone Wild. Now, May and June of 2014 was a rainy time for Louisiana. Well, the years before had just been so dry that everything became so green, especially those cornfields. And the stalks, oh, they were huge. Now, you see, at this time in my career, I do now know that you have to stop and ask permission to go onto someone's private property. Trespassing is not really a recommended activity. Lesson learned, I asked the plantation owner of this field if I could paint on his land. Well, he was thrilled with the idea, of course. He suggested I go to the back of his field so that I wouldn't be disturbed by all the dust and the trucks going by. On my way back there, I came across this really awkward looking stalk. It was growing and bending every which way, all these lines and angles to it. Well, the sun would kind of highlight it in a different way than all the others. The road it came on was at a point and it went in two different directions, kind of creating a two-point perspective. Well, I popped my easel out and I began to sketch that field. Well, I was sketching early mornings before it got too hot, and then head back to my studio in the afternoons. But I knew I needed just one more look at that field. I wanted to get all of those lines and angles just right. So off I went back to the field for one last time. And here I am, studying intently this field. I am zoned in, looking at all those lines, colors, angles, when all of a sudden from behind me, this explosion of sound, a snort. Well, I turn around and there is this dark, menacing thing behind me. It was a wild hog. Well, I yelled, the hog snorted. I yelled and the hog snorted. Well, I threw that easel back in the car and I headed east toward the highway. All my years of painting outside, I have encountered wasps, I've dodged birds, I've even sidestepped snakes, but I have never encountered a snorting wild hog. You just never know what you're gonna get when you're painting outside. But sometimes, distraction like that adds a little flavor to the piece. Now, what is it about clouds? They billow up like a hot air balloon over that New Mexico landscape. They dart, they dance. Clouds play. Why, for miles and miles, the hay bales of West Texas or the cotton fields of Louisiana are fixed, either held in the ground by the dirt or just standing motionless in the middle of a field. But clouds, there are no restrictions with the clouds. They zoom across that Texas sky. Well, I've even been standing on a bridge, watch them puff up into the air, trail off into wisps, and then vanish. Well, I hold those images in my mind and I take them back with me to the studio. I want to capture those moments. The clouds come alive. The clouds that pull you into the painting, through the painting and beyond. The contrast to the land, those vibrant colors of spring and summertime, I want them to come alive on that canvas. That is why I am a creator. I am a painter so that I can bring the art of nature alive. Thank you all for coming.
Swift.
Oh, awesome.
So she did big
Taking a picture.
Yeah. I don't know. You filming or taking a
I'm
picture?
filming.
Oh.